Magomed Ankalaev has made it abundantly clear that he feels more confident than ever as he prepares for his highly anticipated rematch with Alex Pereira. Reflecting on their first encounter, Ankalaev admitted that while his preparation back then was strong enough to secure what he believed should have been a winning performance, it was nowhere near the level of readiness he has achieved this time. According to him, this training camp has pushed him to new heights, sharpening every aspect of his game and elevating his mindset. He insists that fans will witness an entirely different fighter when he steps back into the octagon against the reigning champion. Ankalaev emphasized that the biggest difference lies in his newfound ability to dominate across all areas of mixed martial arts. Whether it's standing on the feet and trading strikes or taking the fight to the ground and showcasing his grappling, he believes he now possesses the complete skill set to control every exchange. In their first meeting, he felt he was unable to demonstrate the full scope of his abilities. This time, however, Ankalaev promises to bring surprises that will catch Pereira off guard and expose holes in the champion's game. His confidence in adjusting to any situation and executing his game plan is stronger than ever, and he has vowed to prove that on fight night. As the light heavyweight division continues to grow more competitive, Ankalaev also shared his thoughts on the emerging pool of contenders. He pointed to fighters like Carlos Ulberg, who recently delivered an impressive knockout victory over Dominic Reyes, as prime examples of fresh talent rising through the ranks. Ankalaev acknowledged Ulberg's momentum and described him as an intriguing fighter who is steadily building a strong record. While his immediate attention remains solely on Pereira and the upcoming rematch, Ankalaev did not shy away from recognizing the significance of these new faces in the division. He stated that if the UFC chooses to book him against such rising contenders in the future, he will gladly accept the challenge. Still, Ankalaev understands that this rematch with Pereira is far too important to look past. His tone and demeanor make it clear that he views this fight as pivotal, not only for his career but also for the trajectory of the entire division. A decisive victory over Pereira, particularly one achieved in dominant fashion, would cement his status as the rightful champion and establish him as a central figure in future marquee matchups. For Ankalaev, the stakes could not be higher. His message leading up to the fight remains straightforward yet powerful. He is not the same fighter Pereira faced the first time. With improved preparation, renewed self-belief, and the promise of unveiling new elements to his skill set, Magomed Ankalaev is determined to showcase the best version of himself. He insists that everything has finally come together and that this rematch is his opportunity to prove to the world that he belongs at the very top of the light heavyweight division. Alex Pereira has opened up about his preparation for the highly anticipated rematch with Magomed Ankalaev, revealing that this training camp has been significantly different from their first meeting. The reigning champion explained that this time around he has been able to dedicate himself fully to training, without the constant distractions of travel and outside commitments. This change allowed him to remain in the gym consistently, maintain sharp focus, and establish a well-structured camp that he considers to be much better than the previous one. According to Pereira, fewer trips and fewer interruptions meant that his entire schedule was built around training, recovery, and discipline. This created a strong rhythm that helped him remain locked in throughout the camp. By staying rooted in one place, he was able to prioritize his conditioning, fine-tune his striking, and strengthen other aspects of his game without the breaks and disruptions that often come with a busier lifestyle. He described the entire camp as one of the most complete and balanced he has ever had, even calling it close to perfect. Pereira emphasized that his energy levels have been noticeably higher this time, and his focus has remained sharper and more consistent than before. Every element of his preparation, from sparring and drills to strength and conditioning, has lined up exactly the way he wanted. Comparing his mindset before the first fight to how he feels now, Pereira admitted that the difference gives him even more confidence heading into this rematch. The first fight was already a close battle, but knowing that he has prepared at an even higher level now only fuels his belief that he can deliver a more dominant performance. When asked about the sense of rivalry with Ankalaev, Pereira acknowledged that there is certainly an element of rivalry involved. However, he made it clear that this is not the driving force behind his motivation. Instead, what fuels him most is the confidence and satisfaction that comes from the hard work he has put into this camp. For Pereira, the foundation of his success has always been built on training, discipline, and trust in his preparation. Rivalries may add extra excitement to a fight, but they do not control his mindset. Pereira reflected on his career and noted that he has faced big rivalries before, each bringing its own set of challenges. While his upcoming clash with Ankalaev can certainly be called a rivalry, he refuses to let emotions dictate how he approaches the fight. His philosophy is straightforward. Stay focused on the training, trust the process, and deliver when the cage door closes. For Pereira, the rematch represents more than just defending a title. It is an opportunity to showcase the improvements he has made, the discipline he has maintained, and the results of a nearly flawless camp. His confidence comes not from hype or external narratives, but from knowing he has put in the work. As the fight approaches, his goal is clear: remain composed, execute his plan, and prove once again why he belongs at the very top of the light heavyweight division. The sports world is mourning the heartbreaking loss of Arthur Jones, former NFL defensive tackle and older brother of UFC legend Jon Jones. Arthur passed away at the age of 39, leaving behind a legacy of athletic excellence and personal warmth that touched countless lives. The cause of his passing has not yet been revealed, but the sudden announcement has sent shockwaves through both the NFL and MMA communities. Arthur Jones built an impressive career in the National Football League, highlighted by his time with the Indianapolis Colts and his crowning achievement as a Super Bowl champion. Known as a powerful presence on the field and a dependable teammate, he was respected not only for his performance but also for his leadership and character. The Indianapolis Colts confirmed the tragic news in a statement released on Friday, expressing their sorrow but withholding details about how, when, or where he passed away. News of Arthur's untimely death quickly spread across the sports world, prompting an outpouring of grief and support for the Jones family. The MMA community rallied around Jon Jones, sending heartfelt condolences and words of comfort during this incredibly difficult time. Fighters, fans, and officials alike recognized that this loss extends far beyond sports. It is a personal tragedy that resonates with anyone who has admired the Jones family and their contributions to athletics. Among the first to publicly react was Conor McGregor, who shared a touching tribute. "Very sad to hear this news. Arthur was a great man, a friendly giant. Godspeed," he wrote. UFC President Dana White also honored Arthur by posting a tribute on Instagram, recognizing both his achievements and his legacy. The UFC as an organization issued an official statement as well, writing, "The UFC is saddened to hear about the passing of Arthur Jones. Our thoughts go out to his family, friends, and loved ones." Tributes extended beyond MMA, with fellow athletes from football and other sports paying their respects. Former UFC champion Rampage Jackson reacted in real time during a live stream, visibly shocked by the announcement. His disbelief and sorrow reflected the reaction of many who were stunned by how suddenly life can change. Arthur Jones will be remembered as far more than Jon Jones' older brother. While his connection to one of MMA's most iconic figures is undeniable, Arthur carved his own path as a champion in professional football. Loved by teammates, respected by opponents, and admired by fans, he built a reputation not only for his accomplishments on the field but also for his humility, kindness, and positive spirit off it. His passing at just 39 years old serves as a painful reminder of the fragility of life. For Jon Jones and his family, this loss is immeasurable, but they are not alone in their grief. Both the NFL and MMA worlds stand united in mourning, honoring Arthur Jones' life and legacy. He will be remembered as a champion, a role model, and a man who left an indelible mark on all who knew him. Reinier de Ridder, RDR, was originally scheduled to headline UFC Vancouver against Anthony "Fluffy" Hernandez. However, when Hernandez withdrew from the bout, plans shifted, and RDR was matched up against Brendan Allen instead. Despite the change in opponent, the Dutch contender remains determined to make a strong statement inside the octagon. While his immediate focus is firmly on Allen, RDR also shared insights into what he believes is the blueprint for defeating Khamzat Chimaev, a fight he hopes to secure in the near future. According to de Ridder, the key to neutralizing Chimaev lies in one simple rule: never allow him to take your back. He emphasized that once Khamzat secures that position, the fight quickly spirals out of control, and recovering becomes nearly impossible. Instead of only waiting for Chimaev to initiate takedowns, RDR believes the smarter approach is to threaten takedowns of his own. With a top game that he considers just as dangerous as Chimaev's, de Ridder sees value in forcing scrambles and creating opportunities to reverse positions. That said, de Ridder stressed that all of his attention right now is locked on Brendan Allen. He is not simply aiming for a victory, he wants to finish Allen, something no one has managed to do in recent memory. Fighters such as Hernandez and Nassourdine Imavov have tested Allen, but while both had their moments, neither was able to stop him. De Ridder views this as both a challenge and an opportunity. Becoming the first to finish Allen would set him apart and significantly strengthen his case for a future title shot. At the same time, de Ridder didn't shy away from calling out Paulo Costa. He revealed that Costa was originally offered the headliner spot at UFC Vancouver but declined the opportunity. According to RDR, Costa only wanted a 3-round fight and was unwilling to compete in a 5-round main event. De Ridder criticized Costa's decision, saying it made little sense for a top-ranked fighter to walk away from such a golden opportunity, particularly in a marquee spot. For de Ridder, remaining on this card was never about staying busy, it was about staying in contention. He admitted that one of his biggest motivations for taking the Allen fight is the possibility of facing Khamzat Chimaev in January, just before Ramadan. While the UFC briefly floated the idea of rescheduling the Hernandez fight, there were concerns about Hernandez's readiness, which prompted de Ridder to push for a new opponent instead. His mindset was clear: keep moving forward, stay active, and continue building momentum toward a showdown with Chimaev. De Ridder also acknowledged the danger that Allen brings to the cage. Both Hernandez and Imavov lost the opening rounds of their fights against Allen, and in his bout with Hernandez, Allen came close to finishing the fight in the final round, inflicting serious damage. These examples highlight Allen's resilience and danger, making him a far from easy task. Yet, for de Ridder, winning is not enough. His true goal is to finish Allen and prove beyond any doubt that he belongs among the elite of the division. Rampage Jackson found himself in a tense situation during a live stream when a fan brought up his son, Raja. The interaction quickly escalated after the fan asked a question related to Raja, and Rampage's reaction made it clear that this was not a topic he was comfortable discussing publicly. His tone shifted immediately as he told the fan to get out of his face, repeating himself multiple times with visible frustration. Rampage dismissed the question as inappropriate, calling the fan weird, and making it clear that the subject was off limits. The energy of the stream noticeably changed in that moment, as Rampage's response revealed just how sensitive and personal the topic is for him. A few minutes later, however, the same fan returned and attempted to apologize. By then, Rampage had calmed down somewhat and handled the situation differently. Instead of lashing out, he allowed the fan to explain himself. The fan insisted that he hadn't realized Rampage didn't want to discuss his son publicly. In response, Rampage clarified his position in direct terms: "He's my son. I don't want to talk about it, bro. Think about it." His words highlighted that his reaction was not about a lack of love or care for his son, but rather about keeping personal family matters private, especially while broadcasting to a live audience. The explanation offered insight into Rampage's protective instincts and his clear boundaries when it comes to his personal life. The conversation took another turn when Rampage asked the fan how old he was. The fan responded that he was 18. Rampage then explained that at 18, a person is old enough to recognize when a subject is sensitive and to know when not to cross certain boundaries. He reminded the fan several times that bringing up his son was a touchy subject and something that should have been avoided. Even though the fan apologized and claimed he genuinely hadn't realized the question was inappropriate, Rampage wasn't quick to let him off the hook. He emphasized that respect is essential, regardless of age, and that by 18, one should understand the importance of respecting someone's personal boundaries. Despite the rocky start, the situation gradually smoothed over once the fan acknowledged his mistake and showed remorse. Rampage allowed him to take a picture together on the stream, signaling that he had accepted the apology. He reminded the young fan not to be disrespectful in the future, and the fan responded politely, addressing Rampage as "Sir." The interaction concluded on a calmer note, with Rampage softening his tone and offering a parting message: "God bless you, brother." The entire exchange revealed two distinct sides of Rampage Jackson's personality. First, the fiery competitor who reacts strongly when something strikes a nerve, particularly when it involves his family. Second, the more reflective and forgiving side of him that surfaces once respect and accountability are shown. The incident ultimately underscored how deeply protective Rampage is of his son in his private life, while also highlighting his willingness to accept an apology and move forward on better terms.